Hello and welcome student to our new video on introduction to blockchain. Hi, I am Yogini Sarangi, lecturer on computer science department, Satana College. Let's see what is actually the blockchain is. First of all, we see the brief history of the blockchain. On October 31st, 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto is the scientist who releases the Bitcoin white paper. It means this is the first invention done by the Satoshi Nakamoto for the transfer of digital money or digital assets. Okay, but Bitcoin is not the first invention of blockchain. The process of blockchain starts from some previous years. Okay, after that, number of new technologies or new inventions done through the blockchain, that is Ethereum, Hyperledger project solution, and many more technologies or many more blockchain facilities provided through. So we will see what is actually the blockchain is and what are the work or process done by the blockchain. This is the list of blockchain processes that the work done by the blockchain. Blockchain can process the transaction, immutable ledger, centralized peer, encryption process, conscience mechanism, and optional smart contracts. Okay, let's explore one by one. First is the transaction. What is actually the transaction is? Transaction is nothing but the process or executable process between two parties, means between two persons. Executable process between these two person is called as a transaction. In case of blockchain, transaction is nothing but the decision or action taken. Is whatever the process two persons perform with each other, means wants to share the money or wants to send the digital assets from one peer to or one person to the other person. That process is known as a transaction. There are some list of transactions shown here, that is land registration, personal identification, transportation, banking, manufacturing, food distribution, audits, etc. etc. How to create a transaction and how to send a transaction into the blockchain can be available in the following website. Go through that website and see how transactions are practically created. The next, we will see the brief history of the blockchain. Now we know the process of blockchain starts from 2008. Actually, the first invention of blockchain can be happen in 2008. The process of construction of blockchain is started before some years. In 2008, white paper is introduced by the Satoshi Nakamoto. That paper is called as a Bitcoin. In 2009, first Bitcoin transaction is worked. At that transaction, Satoshi Nakamoto transfer 10 bitcoins at a time from one peer to the or one person to the other person or one party to the other party. Since after that 2011, first use of the term blockchain introduced. In market, blockchain is introduced as some data storage or securely data processing application. In 2014, new version or a new upgraded version of blockchain is introduced, that is blockchain 2.0. After 2014, 2015, new what we say new application to transfer a digital cash or to transfer digital assets. Ethereum is introduced or Ethereum platform is introduced, which now very popularly used for the either digital asset transfer or cash transfer. 2015, Hyperledger project solutions are provided for some type of data transfer or for some advanced information transfer. 2006, and after that 2016, 17, 18, number of new applications involve or number of new platforms for the blockchain is introduced. Okay, so let's see what is actually the work of blockchain. If we see the work of blockchain, we thought what is actually the blockchain is. Blockchain can behaves like a data storage. Okay, means if you have to transfer one digital asset or one asset which is digital from one person to the other person, it means what? Store the information of that particular asset and share that information from one person to the other person. That it looks like a database processing, but it is not a database. There is some difference between database and blockchain. So student, let's we see what is the difference between blockchain and database. In case of blockchain, self validation of transaction is happen, but in case of traditional database, third party required to validate the transaction. If you have to do some legal transaction, then third party is necessary to approve that transaction in case of the traditional database. The second point, blockchain database, it involves multiple nodes, means you have to make the transaction with more than one person, or if you have to complete one digital transaction with a successful votes, then multiple nodes are involved over there. In case of traditional database, single node is necessary to make that process fluent. Third point, in case of blockchain, transparent information to all the users, because execution of any transaction, every peer node or every node or every block involved in a chain knows that execution of that transaction. In case of traditional system, the information is not transparent. Information is secure between both the parties. No, the other persons or other source does not get that information. The fourth point is data storage in a multiple location. Data can be stored in a multiple location. It means the block on the system of the block, then every peer or every block involved in a network can also share that same information. In case of traditional database, single location can store the information. In case of blockchain, low risk of failure. Okay, some in a chain think that any one block is deleted due to some whatever the reason it may be. So the information related to the block, means the ledger information related to the block, will never get failure, because remaining all blocks can carry that information. So we get our information very easily. In case of traditional database, there is a high risk of failure. If your paper is misplaced, or if your paper due to some disaster, your paper is lost, then your transaction is invalid or your transaction does not happens. So for that purpose, blockchain looks like or behaves like a database, but blockchain is not a database. Okay, so what is actually the process, transaction evaluation or transaction execution process in a blockchain? See the figure carefully. In this figure, I am trying to explain the process in very interesting and easiest way. See, there are two parties, or there are two blocks involved in a blockchain. Our chain can contain a number of nodes over there. Okay, so transaction is requested from one node. We can call it as a node, we can call it as a peer, we can call it as a block also. One block, the request sends to request transaction sends to the network, blockchain network. Your blockchain network can contain number of blocks. Okay, the network of blockchain is a decentralized network. There is no any server. Every node or every block behaves like a server as well as client. So that request, when request sends to the blockchain, every node get that request. Okay, after that validation process start. For performing the validation process, number of protocols are available, like SAS 256 protocol used to validate our transaction. What the validation process is actually, in the validation process, transaction can be involved. uh, Means one the party can send the transaction to specific party, but the notification goes to each and every node. Only that node can access that transaction, who can validate that transaction or that information. That node has its own encryption algorithm. By that algorithm, that transaction is encrypted in expected with the expected block or with the expected node. Once the verification or verification done, the transaction become a part of a new block for the chain or for the ledger, and that block is added into the blockchain ledger, and then the transaction is completed. Process of transaction is completed. When that transaction is entered in a blockchain ledger, then the transaction is completed. This is the way to work each and every block in a blockchain. So there are a number of terminologies involved in a blockchain. Let's see some these terminologies. What is actually the meaning of that terminology? The first is decentralized peer. I told you previously, that blockchain is a decentralized network. It means what? There is no any hub, no any server over there for connecting with each and every node to transfer the data in the form of transaction. Blockchain contain a distributed network. It means that every node is connected with every other node. See, the figure shows the structure. For that purpose, blockchain is called as a decentralized network system. Okay. Then the next terminology is encryption. All of we know encryption means the convert ciphertext into the plain text. For that purpose, there are a number of algorithms, a number of protocols available for blockchain to encrypt the information or encrypt the data. Okay, so there are two type of blockchains: public blockchain and private blockchain. In case of public blockchain, all the nodes are viewable nodes. In case of private blockchain, all the nodes have rights for the visibility. Okay, so depends on public and private feature of the blockchain, encryption algorithm is applied. Then the next is conscience. Conscience is nothing but the mechanism to get a proof for make the changes in a block. So there are number of mechanisms available for conscience, that is proof of work, proof of stake, proof of elapsed time, proof of activity, proof of burn, proof of capacity, proof of importance, and many more. Then the next most important terminology related to the blockchain is a smart contract. Smart contract is a very much important feature of the blockchain. In our next video, I will discuss in detail what is actually the smart contract is. But here we just know what is actually the smart contract is. The meaning of contract is our traditional contract between two parties. Okay. And smart contract means these are the digital contracts which are performed between two parties. Okay, so these are some terminologies related to the blockchain. Let's see what is the capabilities of the blockchain. Actually, blockchain has what we say capability to provide a secure money transfer or digital asset transfer. For that purpose, it requires some terms as well as some negative indicators are also for the blockchain. Let's see both. There are some blockchain essentials. One is a business problem to be solved, another one is an identifiable business network, and third is a need for the trust. It means that all these should have essential for establishing the blockchain or proper working done through the blockchain. Some negative indicators are also in case of the blockchain, like it needs a high performance transaction, small organizations. If organization get increases, then blockchain performance get decreases. So looking for database replacement, looking for message replacement, looking for transaction processing, and etc etc are the capabilities or are the importance of the blockchain. In this video, we will talk about the basic introduction of blockchain. In our next video, we will talk about the smart contracts. Till then, goodbye and thank you.